Did you know that up to 75% of the processed packaged foods found on grocery store shelves are GMOs, loaded with genetically modified organisms? Today, I want to talk to you about what GMOs are and share with you the top 10 foods that contain genetically modified organisms to avoid at all costs. Thanks for joining me on Tailored Health, and let's dive in. GMOs, genetically modified organisms, are foods whose DNA has been modified in the lab. Introduced in the 1990s, foods containing GMOs have some combination of plants, animals, viruses, and bacteria, but not in their naturally occurring form that's found in Mother Nature. The problem with eating genetically modified organisms is that it has potential to affect your DNA expression. They're also linked to leaky gut. If you haven't heard about this term, I will link a video I created on that below. I also created a video on how to heal leaky gut, so be sure to watch that after you learn about what leaky gut is, especially if you resonate with the symptoms. GMOs are also linked to digestive issues, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea. They're simply not broken down in the digestive system like real foods are. They're linked to cancer, tumors, obesity, increased hunger and cravings, and they decrease the nutrient density found in the foods that you're eating. So let's dive into the top 10 genetically modified organisms that I urge you to stay away from at all costs if you want real health, to feel your best, and to keep your body in a good place as far as weight goes. The number one GMO crop is corn. Up to 93% of American grown corn is genetically modified to literally poke holes in the stomach of insects that are eating the crop and cause them to explode. So when we're eating GMO corn, which is coming from a lot of our processed packaged foods, from corn chips and corn tortillas to corn maize, cornmeal, and corn syrup, which shows up in a lot of different items that you might not even be aware of, especially your ketchup, sauces, dressings. So you want to look out for that. What do you think it's doing to you? It's also poking holes in your intestinal lining. So if you are dealing with leaky gut, you really want to be careful with the corn that you're consuming, certainly choosing organic, but I would urge you to avoid it altogether as it's one of the top inflammatory foods. Number 2, soy. Up to 94% of soy grown in the US is genetically modified to resist herbicides, which makes it easier for farmers to grow crop and increases their yield. But soy is one of the top endocrine disruptors. So whether you're buying organic soy or not, I really recommend, especially to my women, that you decrease your consumption of soy in general. You'll find soybean oil in a lot of your processed packaged foods as it's very cheap. Soy lecithin is found in chocolate bars and other items. Soy protein is in protein bars and even protein powders, soy milk, tofu, and a lot of the vegan products on the market. So you really want to be careful if you are to consume soy to look for that USDA certified organic label. Number 4 is canola oil. This is one of the most chemically processed oils on the market, coming from the rapeseed plant. I urge you to avoid this at all costs, and it is not a healthy oil to be cooking with. If you want to learn more about healthy oils to cook with, I will link that video below as well. Number 5, sugar beets. So you'll see cane sugar on an ingredient label. You always want to look for this organic. Not only is genetically modified sugar a problem, but sugar in general is heavily linked to inflammation, and inflammation leads to symptoms, illnesses, conditions, and diseases. So the more that you cut back on that, the better, but at least look for non-GMO or organic sugarcane if it's included in your products. Number 6 is papaya. It started being genetically modified in Hawaii in 1999, but you'll also find papaya coming from China that's a GMO. So if you see papaya and it's non-organic, you want to make sure that it's not coming from Hawaii or China. Number 7, zucchini and yellow squash. These were genetically modified to resist viruses that can affect plants and take over the crops. But they start to suppress your own immunity and ability to fight off viruses on your own. So beware, always buy these organic. Number 8 is alfalfa. And this might seem like, when am I going to be eating alfalfa? But here's the deal. Alfalfa, soy, and corn are typically fed to animals. And we're at the end of the food chain, so we really have to be careful about buying these meat products organic, because what they're eating, we're essentially eating at the end of the day. And that leads me to number 9, animal products. For example, dairy, meat, and eggs. You always want to look for these organic, grass-fed, and grass-finished, and pastured or pasture-raised. Those are terms to look for. At the end of the day, again, we're eating these animal products who are feeding on possibly genetically modified corn, soy, and alfalfa. So by looking for at least the organic label, you're ensuring that those grains were not genetically modified. Last, but certainly not least, are a few new foods that have been added to the GMO list. Potatoes and apples are genetically modified to not brown when cut into, which is crazy and completely unnatural. Salmon and honey can now be sourced from bees who are feeding on GMO pollen. So beware. And one last thing to look for and be very concerned about is the term natural flavors. These can be hiding up to 100 different chemicals, including genetically modified organisms. A link below to the video I created on that, so you can inform yourself and know how to be a smarter shopper. At the end of the day, we're eating food to feel good. Food should be medicine, not poison. So avoid these genetically modified foods such as soy, corn, zucchini, squash, canola, sugar, alfalfa, conventional animal products, and more. I hope you got a lot from this video. If you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Every week, I'm coming at you with a new video like this, opening your eyes, sharing new health hacks, and more. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.